I have friends who lost their taste and smell and even 3 months later still can't taste. Hi, welcome back to a new video. My name is Montana and I was an exchange student in Germany. I think if you're watching this video, you probably saw my other video, which was in German. Sorry, this one's gonna be in English because it's a lot easier to answer. I'm just going to be responding to your guys' questions about having COVID. I had COVID this past week. I'm still in the lovely isolation dorms, which are behind me. And I made a post on Instagram asking you guys what you want to know about having COVID, how it was like, and what my experience has been having COVID at the University of Virginia. I just wanted to add this in the beginning because I never really say this in my videos, but if you do like these videos, please like, comment, and subscribe to them. It really helps me. Every single subscriber and like really does help me as a YouTuber and to continue making these videos. So if that's the case, please do that. And yeah, let's get on with the video. So the first question was a basic one. Someone asked, what are your symptoms? I personally wasn't that sick. I feel like I was really tired. I got soreness from random things. So like my example was hula hooping. I was really sore. I did like 10 squats one day and was so sore, which is unusual for me. And also being so tired is also unusual. I don't think I had a fever, so nothing too bad, but my roommate here in the isolation dorms was a lot worse. Her symptoms were super bad. She went to the ER at one point because she had a fever of 103.5 degrees, which is super duper high. Are you afraid of the consequential damage? Hast du Angst vor Geschäden? Yes, but for me, not so much. Like, I think that we're all a little worried about what having COVID does to you since like no one knows the answer, and that's very nerve-wracking. But I didn't lose my taste or smell, so I feel like I'm less nervous in that sense because I have friends who lost their taste and smell and even 3 months later still can't taste, or they say that things smell weird and different, which really scares me because I'm like, why is that the case? That's so nerve-wracking and scary, and why is it like that? Are we ever gonna know the answers? Who knows? So many people have asked this. Weißt du, wo du dich angesteckt hast? Or do you know who you got it from or how you got it? Unfortunately, no. All of the cases were so high at the university, and even though we went into this lockdown phase, so this cases started getting really high and UVA put us on lockdown, like we couldn't leave our rooms. Basically, you couldn't be with more than one other person. You were technically supposed to be alone, but like your roommate, and you could only leave to do like alone exercise or to get food. So that was the case, but COVID was still spreading. You still had to go to get food at the cafeteria and stuff. So unfortunately, I don't know. Wie viele Stunden kannst du in der Nacht schlafen? How many hours can you sleep in the night? I slept fairly normal. Our rooms are so bright. Like this, I'm right in front of this huge window, so I would wake up fairly early, but I would say I slept more than normal with COVID. Fühlt sich COVID schlimmer als eine Grippe? I think Grippe is flu or cold, but I don't know. So a cold for us is like a small, like your nose hurts, you're sneezing, you feel just kind of warm, kind of out of it. That's how COVID felt for me. But for my roommate, I think it felt more like the flu or like tonsillitis, kinda like strep throat, because for her it was a lot of throat ache. Denkst du jetzt anders über Corona seit du COVID hast? I think that honestly is scarier for me now. Like COVID seems more scary than before just because of how sick my friend and my roommate got. It really scared me because I was not that sick, so I was like, oh, this isn't really a big deal. But then when she got really sick and went to the ER, I was like, wow, we're supposed to be the young people who are immune or won't get too sick from it, and at the same time she was. So I think it is really scary and kind of just goes to prove why we're taking all these protective measures and why the world is shut down for this one virus, which is so crazy. Like thinking about a year ago today was before masks, before I had gotten sent home from Germany, before all of this really changed society. And that is just an insane thought, that over the course of a year, our entire world has gone through a pandemic, and now we're so different. Our whole entire mindset has changed when it comes to socialization and isolation. And I think having COVID definitely did change my opinion on what COVID is and how it's changed our world. Did you have to inform a lot of people that they have to get into quarantine? So yeah, what happens is you take your test and it comes back positive, and then the university calls you. You'll also get a call from Virginia Department of Health, and they ask all of these questions, like what your symptoms are, how you're feeling, who you were in contact with, and then they will contact those people and let them know that they need to quarantine and that there's a chance that they also have COVID and they should get tested. So you have to talk with a lot of people at the university. I'm kind of curious what it would be like to have gotten COVID not through a university, so just at home. Like, would you still get those same calls? What would you do? But UVA definitely has this super long process lined out. Do you feel something before you got tested positive? Like I said, I just had that cold really, and I said this in a previous video, which is so dumb of me, but I was with a cat. Like, I saw a cat, and I'm very, very allergic to cats, so I really just thought that it was allergies, and I had been sneezing from what I thought was this cat. Maybe it was both, but I think it actually was just the beginning of COVID symptoms. I got tested pretty soon after that though, and it came back positive. Whether or not it was the cat, we'll never know. How many people do you know who's currently had COVID? So many. I think I know more people at UVA who have had COVID than who haven't, which is so crazy. Our university cases went up so much, but the cases in more southern schools were even bigger. I know people at those southern schools who have also had COVID, and for the most part, nobody has been as sick as my friend here was. I don't think the US is taking the right approach to it, obviously, but I think that so many people have had it at UVA that the cases are now like totally dropping off. We're kind of reaching closer to herd immunity, and also people are getting vaccinated as well. So at the same time, it's like cases are really high, people are getting vaccinated. Hopefully soon, we're gonna be back to normal. Who knows if that's really true though. Do people react differently to the virus? Yes. And how do they react to your case? I feel like having COVID, I'm very open about it, obviously here on the internet, but it's kind of something that you want to hide at UVA. Not necessarily, like, you're obviously going to report the people who you were with and say, like, tell them that you have COVID, but there's kind of this mysterious aspect where you're like, I don't want to tell people I have COVID, it's embarrassing, I don't want them to be mad at me or ask like, how did you get it? But it just depends. It's a weird situation in an American university right now. So what are you doing the whole day? Sitting in this isolation dorm. It's so boring. I have been losing my mind. Thankfully, my roommate like dropped off roller skates. I've been roller skating inside here. I have been hula hooping. I've been doing homework. I had an exam yesterday in accounting. I've been staying busy, honestly, watching German Netflix. I watched a new movie, Aussie and Izzy, or Izzy and Aussie. I don't remember which one. Pretty good. I also started watching 3 Turken and I'm a Baby. Another question was I vaccinated already? I was not. And I don't know really what the regulation is now, because our university policy is that you won't get tested 150 days after having COVID, because they say you have antibodies and you could still be shedding that virus, so you could test positive but not actually be contagious, so they just won't test us. I don't know how that goes with the vaccine. Like, will they give me the vaccine even though I still have COVID antibodies? I'm not sure, but I am registered to receive a vaccine. I'm just definitely very low on the list because there's no reason for me to need the vaccine right now. I do know some people who've gotten the vaccine. My grandma, she's in her 70s. She just got her 2nd dose. I have a friend here at the university who got the vaccine because she's a nursing student. I know a bunch of adults, like my parents' friends, who've gotten the vaccines because they are frontline workers, they're medical workers, or somehow they've just gotten it through trials. People my age there aren't that many, just because I think they're starting with those older groups and then working their way down to those who need it less. And talking with my host family, I think that Germany's doing the same thing. Thank you everyone who asked questions on Instagram. If you have other questions, you can definitely leave them in the comments below and I will answer them, or answer as many as I can. I'm super lucky to be healthy and to have gotten over having COVID so easily, but I know that there's people who aren't like that. So my best wishes go out to them, and best wishes to you guys to stay healthy. So thank you guys so much for watching. Bleib gesund und tschüss.